Welcome to New Way Health Podcast, where we explore topics to enrich your total well being. I'm Jennifer Gilman, and I've got Coach Emily with me. Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
We are so excited, you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about healthy snacks and really getting into it so that you know what a snack is, first of all, and then giving you some ideas. So, one of the things that came up was we're realizing some people don't know like what really is a snack because I've seen Emily, like you've probably seen this too. Somebody will tell me about what they had for their snack, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's a meal. Or the reverse, and they'll tell me, like, oh yeah, I have snacks. I eat an apple. And you're like, that's not a good snack. I want to help you, right? So, what is a snack, Emily?
Well, I think for myself, I consider it an eating event between a meal that
Yep.
I've planned.
Okay.
So what would you consider a snack?
Yeah, I think it's the same thing, and it's something like much smaller, right? So it's not
Mhm.
not as many calories, but definitely nutrient dense, right? We still need to, and we
Yeah.
want that's the whole purpose. So we're going to show you guys really great snack options that hit the macronutrients that you are wanting to do, but you're like, I don't know, I'm in this wild world of snacking, and there's so much out there. I don't know if I'm doing it right or not. So hopefully by the end of this, you're going to feel better about it. So why are we talking about snacks? Why is this even important?
Oh, good point. I think that snacking definitely determines our body composition, our
Mhm.
weight, our hemoglobin A1C, cholesterol, brain fog, energy. I think the frequency, what we snack on, and when we snack really
Mm.
affects us,
Yeah.
our overall health.
Yep.
So I think it would be wrong of us not to talk about snacking.
Yes.
Sorry, there's
Yeah.
that.
Because for most
Yes.
people, if you're active, like 2 or 3 meals a day is not enough food. It's not enough nutrients for you, especially if you're really active. So people, do need to snack. It's just a matter of how you're fueling your body, right? How often, what's the timing of it, and figuring out like this is what I love about coaching is figuring out their success formula of like, okay, what seems to be working? All right, when we eat breakfast here, and then we're finding that you do need a little bit of a snack mid-morning because you're not getting lunch until later, and then gosh, you're, not having a dinner until maybe later. So we need to have another little snack. Or sometimes for me, I do 3 meals and one afternoon snack. That's what works really well for me. And I can like really time it to what it is. So what works for you? I'm curious about your timing, just to give an example for others listening.
Yeah, I tend to do what you do. I
Okay.
enjoy my breakfast
Mhm.
and then a lunch, a really good salad for lunch. Typically full, but then that afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock, you just like, oh, I need something.
Yeah.
That's my snack. Or I've worked with other clients too, and this has worked for them, especially later in our premenopausal or going into menopause.
Yeah.
If I'm going to have a big dinner, I will choose an item for my dinner that I've already prepared for my family and have that part for my snack, and
Ooh,
then leave the rest of the dinner for me at dinner time.
I like that idea. So it's not like you're
Yeah.
making something additional,
Yes.
but the time saver. That was so good. I love it.
Yeah.
And what happens when you don't snack properly? So I'm curious, like if you didn't have that afternoon snack, what would happen? Would like evil Emily come out?
No. I'm very proud. I've worked really hard on my sugars being balanced. But then I tend to find that I overeat for dinner.
Okay. Okay. So I will be super honest with me. I will get like a little hangry. So I know
Mm.
I need that afternoon, and I might get irritable. And that's really not good for me because I like to really show people kindness. I'm compassion. So I'm really big on that. And it's part of our core values with our company is really
Mm.
compassion coaching. So so important that I have the afternoon snack and that I always plan for it. It just doesn't not happen anymore. But if I were not to, like if I'm traveling and all of a sudden I'm out of sync and I didn't have an afternoon snack, I would get hangry. And that's a setup for failure for the rest of my day. I'm irritable. I might be answering people in not a very good, kind way, and that's not good. That's not me. And then at night, I might overeat, right? And it's just like it throws
Yeah.
you way out and it doesn't feel good. So it's like you don't want to be on that blood sugar roller coaster. It just feels awful when you're on it. And when you
And
get off of it for years, you're like, oh, this is so great. I haven't had that in years.
and why does it matter that we're not on that roller coaster of blood sugar?
Yeah. You know what? I really want to make sure that my gut health is happy. I'm digesting foods properly. I've good energy. I'm not having brain fog because I know what it's like to feel all those other things, to have
Mhm.
inflammation and joint pain and brain fog and my thyroid being all messed up. That's one of the reasons like I had autoimmune disease is that's part of it. Is like I just was not eating properly. The timing was off. I would just work, 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 work. I used to not eat breakfast and I used to proudly state that. And now what I know, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to break my fast in the morning. It's healthy for you. So I know what I need to do in getting enough protein in. But let's get back to our snacking conversation. We could just talk forever about this. So the importance of healthy snacking. Let's talk
Mm,
about the pros because we talked a little bit about what possibly could happen with the negative part, but how when you
mm.
snack, in healthy ways, what are some things that your clients feel? What do they tell you?
That stable energy,
Yeah,
what you were mentioning, right? The less of the brain fog, irritability, especially in the afternoon. Um, they don't get that crash in the afternoon, so their work productivity increases or at least stays stable. So they're like spot on.
yeah,
Um, Plus, then the gut health, if you are incorporating that protein or healthy fat or that fiber, or especially if you didn't get 30 grams, if we're saying that traditionally 30 grams for your breakfast or lunch, then you can sneak in some of those macros for your snack time that just help you stay, yeah, stable instead of on that roller coaster being stable,
yeah,
and not so fickle.
yeah. And it's like in digging a little deeper too, emotionally and mentally, it's a big deal. You want to feel good through the day and be like proud of everything you're accomplishing. And I really think that food has such a big part of this, of like actually feeling the good feelings and not feeling crappy, frankly, right? So
Yeah.
when you start eating well and having the good snacks and knowing when your timing is right for your snack, it's remarkable what people say, like, oh my gosh, it was the best day ever, even though something bad happened, but they just dealt with it. They
Mhm.
had the resilience for it. And we want to have the resilience for the things, the unexpected things that happen so that we can deal with those things in a much better fashion. So I wanted to show also, you have queued up our DNA report. So as I introduce this, if you can share your screen, you guys, there's science to some of this too. So we do um,
Mhm.
Emily and we do the nutrigenomics package here at New Way Health Coach, where we offer the DNA testing, which is just a cheek swab. It's really easy to do. And then an hour interpretation with us. And it's a 30-page report. But can you tell us about this one gene that gets tested, Emily, of the eating between meals? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, this gene, it's found to be in our brain, the hypothalamus area, and it affects us whether we want to or genetically are predisposed to snacking between meals. I mean, that is pretty profound. This sample here that I have on the screen, it is a typical response. So they don't have this genetic makeup or this variant in this gene, but it could be very informative if you do find out that you have this gene. Doesn't mean to stop snacking, and that's okay. You can continue snacking, but it'd be even more crucial to choose a snack that is more beneficial to your body with the good macros or fiber, so you can just maintain that body composition.
Yeah, and I do have this one. So
You do.
basically, my DNA report, this shows instead of where you see typical, it says elevated. So I do have this gene, and I have to be cautious of like making sure And I figured out my formula of when I actually need that snack and what needs to be the macronutrients of that snack so that I feel good, right? And it absolutely, remember I said hangry, it absolutely affects my mood and then how I portray that to others. And I don't want to be that person. And I have to
Mm.
believe most people don't want to be that person, you know?
Yeah.
So
But
even with
that's
the report, there's a couple of suggestions there, but we want to dive into some of those suggestions. So should we go ahead and kind of show them? We want to give you a tool and then we'll
mm,
dive into some of our other favorite kind of snacks. And this is for kids and for adults, okay? So
the
can you share the meal garden? We have Meal Garden, which is only for practitioners, healthcare practitioners, but we have this available for our clients where it's thousands of recipes in here and they've all been created by dietitians, nutritionists. But so some of these, what Emily has up here are some plant-based high protein snacks. We also have, I'm an omnivore, so I often will go towards those, but I like plant-based protein as well. So let's pick one here, like what do you think would be great for kids?
ooh, how about the banana almond butter chia seed toast?
I love that one. So imagine now after school, right? They come home
Mm.
and you're going to prepare this one slice of whole grain bread, right? And which is healthy. You want to make sure it's 100% whole grain, right? We don't want the fake stuff and preferably no sugar added, right? And now they have bananas, which what kid doesn't like bananas, right? And then you're putting some kind of a nut butter on there. Almond butter is wonderful. And then some chia seeds for extra protein. I wish my mom made this for me. I have
Yeah.
bologna sandwiches. Oh, man.
Now, I would sprinkle some honey on top of that. I don't
Nice.
know, to just add some of the little
Yeah.
sweetness to it.
And what about like, okay, let's change this. The avocado toast is huge, right? Everybody loves avocado toast now. So what if we had the avocado spread on that? So now we have our
Mm.
carbohydrate, which is the whole grain bread, some avocado, and that would be our healthy fat. What could we use for some protein, do you think?
You could do a hummus or chickpeas.
Hmm.
I don't I don't know if you like that extra crunch with that bread, but you could do I love to roast my chickpeas and just sprinkle some roasted chickpeas. So then it's like a little bit of just a crunch to it.
Yes, I love that. So this is like a really good one for kids and adults. I think it's really easy to make, right? Something super easy. And to the left of it, I have to mention this because many of my clients love edamame, just like I do.
Mm.
And that's a really good protein, you guys. So pairing it with some berries, a half a cup of berries, whether it's whatever is looking good in the market, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, whatever you want. But now you have that nice healthy carbohydrate mixed with a nice healthy protein. So that's a good one. Tell me a couple of your favorites here before we slide off
I've
this platform.
I've made the chia seed pudding
Mm.
on a really hot day. Instead of choosing ice cream, I made this and it was a great replacement. And I did raspberries and I was really proud. I was like, wow, this tastes really good. I could do this from now on. Now, could I get my kid to eat it? If it was a girl, maybe, but my boy did not enjoy it. But it was refreshing and my husband enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Uh, but you know what, Jen? I love making power balls.
Yes, that's a big one. Yeah.
It is they're creative and you can mix up those ingredients. But the best part is I doubled the batch and freeze them.
Yeah. So easy, right? And then you just bring out what you need.
And they go good in the kids' lunch boxes.
Yeah. I totally agree. I was speaking with one of my clients earlier and she loves the protein balls, and I asked her what her recipe was because they're all slightly a little bit different, but I know we're paused on the brownie bites here, but it just reminds us of those protein
Mhm.
balls and there's a lot of varying recipes. Feel free to reach out to us if you need a recipe. We're happy to give you one of our favorites. And you can like just message us through this platform or email at info@New Way Health Coach. And we'd be happy to give you a Power Bite or a Powerball recipe so that, because you might not have tried them before. What else on here that you like?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I do the baked chickpeas.
Uh,
You bake them. I have them for the whole week. I can sprinkle them even in the breakfast time with some avocado or some eggs, an over easy egg. But I do also add them to like some of my nuts and my snacks, in the afternoon. I love my cashews or my Brazil nut.
mhm.
I'll make like a trail mix and I'll add those baked chickpeas for the extra protein.
Exactly. And you get a little crunch to them. Now on the bottom, the cucumber with homemade hummus. You know what? You don't need to make homemade hummus. You can buy a good variety of hummus. Just check the labels and everything. But I do like vegetables with hummus. To me, it's a great go-to. I like cucumbers. I like sliced red bell peppers with it. I like carrot stick celery. I just kind of see what's looking good at the store. And that's an easy snack, but I'll just make sure I take out just a small portion and put it in a container with me for work and then slice up my veg. And that's very satisfying for me. But you can prep, ahead of time on the weekend. It's just like cut up a bunch of vegetables. And now with kids, it's easy to just put a scoop on their plate, throw some veggies, and have at it. They just got home from school and they can have something healthy to eat before they do their homework or whatever it is. So that's gonna give them brain power. I love it.
Yeah.
So let's anything else on here before we close this out? Oh,
No, but I may try this one next week.
yeah. Smoothies are
But
good for the kids too, because sometimes you just can't get them to eat some of this other stuff, right? So it's a
yes.
little foreign. They're just like, I'm not eating that. They're giving you a little resistance. Make a good protein shake for them, a
Hmm.
nice protein smoothie. Just make sure you've got protein in it, right? You've got to have the protein. Don't just make a
Yeah.
fruit smoothie because that's going to give them a sugar spike that is you're going to be paying for it later
Hmm.
because they're going to be
Exactly.
so irritable and cranky with you. So making sure it's truly actually, you can call it a smoothie to them, but it's really a protein shake, right?
Oh yeah, they really like the protein shake word.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So
But
close this out and then talk about a couple of others that I had on my list that I wanted to share. Oops, here we go. Doo, doo. There we go. So the other thing with fruit, I really wanted to mention this. So what can we do to help those listening, like when they want a piece of fruit, but we want to make sure that it's a healthy snack. So what would you recommend they add to the fruit?
some fiber. And I it's great go-to is a nut butter with celery. If you do want some of that fruit, I mean, I don't know if your mom did it, but my mom always made the long celery with some peanut butter or some nut butter, and then we put raisins on top,
Yeah. Yep.
ants on a log or
Ants in a
whatever.
log, ants on a log. Yep, it worked. And it was so fun.
Yes, but having that fiber blunts that sugar spike with the fruit,
Yep.
or learn to eat the outside of the kiwi.
Hmm.
If kiwi is I mean, it's in season right now. It tastes so good. So learning to eat that outside to blunt some of that sugar effect. But having fiber with that sugar is, I mean, how many clients, Jen, have you coached that have just a bowl of yogurt and then tons of sugar and then granola with tons of sugar and they think they're having a healthy snack?
Yeah. And it's not. So we really have to be careful with all that sugar, all that added sugar, because you're going to be happy in the moment, but it's going to not be healthy, in the long run. And most likely you're not going to feel quite right soon after, sometimes within an hour or half an hour. If I have like one of those acai bowls, this happened not like I would say about 4 years ago. I decided to go to one of these places and I got it and looked gorgeous, right? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'll eat half of it and then I'll take the rest to go. I ate half of it and I had the massive headache because of all the sugar, and I only had half of it.
Yeah. I just got goosebumps. Yeah.
So I never went back there again, never had an acai bowl because I thought maybe I could do it. I was like, okay, it looks so amazing, and I'll just do
Mhm.
half, but I had massive headache from the sugar. So yeah, it's not a great option. So one thing I love, apple season is coming, right?
Mm.
I do love green apples. It's one of my favorite apple, and I'll put some nut butter. But if it's a big apple, you guys, it's a half an apple is a serving, not the whole apple, right? So just be careful of the large amounts of fruit if you're going to have fruit, because people do love fruit. Making sure you're staying with a really true serving size of a half a cup of berries, a half a banana, half of an apple, really making it smaller and then putting some kind of protein or fat with that. Never have a naked carb. We want to dress up our carbs. Okay.
Exactly.
So think about that. Let's see the energy balls we talked
Mm.
about, the mixed nuts and fruits, pre-cut veggies with hummus. I think we've given them a lot of good ideas. What do you think?
Well, I think if I was a client, I'm always curious. They're always asking me the ones that we can purchase. What's
Hmm.
what are your favorite purchase snacks? Target, Amazon, whatever grocery store.
Okay.
Do you have that list
Yeah.
in your head?
I have, well, I like Paleo Valley, the beef jerky. I love their beef sticks because it has actually a probiotic in it and it's just no sugar added and all of that. So I do like the beef jerky. Just
Mhm.
be careful, beef jerky, most of it has a ton of sugar in it. So you've got to get something really clean. I think Chomp's brand is a good one
Mhm.
too.
Yep.
So I do like that. And then I always have a little baggie, and even in my desk, I'm at my office right now. I have a little container with mixed nuts, Brazil nuts, and it's just a mix. Some pistachios are in there and macadamia.
Mm.
So mixed nuts, and then just having a little bit if I want some, not having a lot, just it's like the equivalent of a tablespoon of nuts when you're going to eat nuts. So those are my two go-to that it's no refrigeration, right?
Right.
What do you
Yeah.
like to have?
Well, I was going to mention the other Country Archer,
Oh,
those beef sticks. They're in the blue
okay.
bag, blue and black.
Okay.
I do like those. Those are the shorter one. They are
I've
short, so they're
seen those like at Fresh Market, and I think Whole Foods has them.
yes.
Okay.
I like
Gotcha.
them because they're not so big.
Right.
Um, and then an RX bar or a macro bar, especially if I'm traveling or if I'm in a hurry. Those protein bars, but I always read the ingredients, make sure
Yeah.
we don't have that sneaky sunflower sugar
Yeah.
in it.
I agree with the RX bar. I haven't had the other, but RX is a good brand that's just clean as like what, 5 ingredients in that?
Hmm.
It's super clean. So be careful with the bars, you guys. There's so many not good ones out there. I
Wow.
mean, I feel like 95% of the market of protein bars are not actually healthy. So just trying to get the cleanest thing you can have. And if you're traveling places where you don't really have, you're just like, I need something right now, otherwise I'm gonna get hangry. Just pick the best option you can get,
Yeah.
right? Just trying to make
Hmm.
sure there's some protein in there, and not as much sugar, right? Something that's gonna satiate you. So, all
Yeah,
right.
I know I like that. I like those.
Yeah, I just want to encourage all of you, use your curiosity and creativity. Like ask people who you admire and people that seem to be healthy and ask around, say like, what do you have for snacks? Because you can start building your little toolkit of I like this, and this. This is my go-to when I have snacks when I'm traveling on the road and when I'm just at home. So think about that. And Emily, do you have anything else that you want to share with our listeners before we say goodbye to them?
Yeah, I mean, it takes time for
Yeah.
us to make these podcasts. So all we're asking is that you just share it with somebody that you think that needs it, and that would be so meaningful to us. And we appreciate the support.
Absolutely. What a blessing that is to be able to do this and have um, the time and the knowledge to share this, but pass it on to others because we want to give to others so that they have an opportunity to learn like what is a good snack. I really want to decipher this for myself. And so share it with others. It's been great having you here. And until next time, bye for now.